So, you know how we do things over and over until they become second nature?
Yeah, but why does it work that way?
Repetition. It's like when I practiced my guitar riffs for hours. Now I can play them without thinking.
But what if you get bored doing the same thing all the time?
Well, habits save mental energy. You don't have to think about brushing your teeth every morning because you've done it so many times.
What if someone doesn't want to form a habit? Can they just stop?
Harder than it sounds. Once something is a habit, breaking it takes effort. Like trying to quit smoking, people struggle with it.
And what about good habits? How do you start those?
Start small. Add one new thing at a time. For example, I started walking 10 minutes each day before adding more exercise later on. And there's science behind it too. When you repeat something often enough, your brain actually changes.
Really? How does that work?
Your brain forms new pathways and strengthens existing ones. It's like building a road. The more cars that drive on it, the smoother and faster the travel gets.
So, does this mean our brains are changing all the time?
Exactly. Every habit you form or break involves some change in your neural structure. That's why old habits die hard and new ones take effort to build.
But can these changes be reversed easily?
Not always. Old habits leave marks, so to speak. That's why breaking a bad habit isn't easy. It's like trying to erase a well-trodden path in the forest.
Makes sense, I guess. So, how long does it usually take for these neurological changes to happen?
It varies, but studies show it can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months for a habit to stick and for those neural pathways to really settle in. Speaking of forming habits, did you know that triggers or cues play a big role in starting the habit loop?
Triggers? Like what?
Anything that signals your brain to start a behavior. It could be an alarm clock for waking up, or seeing your running shoes to go for a run.
Oh, I see. So, it's like a reminder to do something.
Exactly. A trigger starts the process. Without it, you might forget to start the habit.
That makes sense. So, how do you set up these triggers?
You create them based on your routine. For example, if you want to read more, place a book next to your bed as a cue to pick it up before sleeping.
Got it. So, having clear triggers helps make sure you keep doing the habit regularly.
Absolutely. They're like little nudges that help keep you on track. Without them, it's easy to fall off course.
That's pretty useful. I should try setting some up then.
Definitely worth a shot. Once you find what works, it becomes much easier to stick with the habit. And speaking of keeping habits going, rewards are another key part of the process. They really help reinforce the behavior.
Rewards? Like getting a treat after doing something.
Yes, exactly. When you do something that becomes a habit, rewarding yourself afterward makes you more likely to keep doing it.
So, how does that work in practice?
Say you want to start exercising. After each workout, you could reward yourself with a healthy snack or a bit of leisure time. Over time, your brain associates the exercise with a positive feeling from the reward.
That sounds like a good way to stay motivated.
Definitely. The reward reinforces the behavior and makes it feel good, which helps lock in the habit.
What kind of rewards work best?
It depends on what motivates you. It could be tangible rewards like treats, or intangible ones like a sense of accomplishment. The key is consistency in making sure the reward feels meaningful to you.
I see. Nani-san. So, finding the right reward is important then.
Absolutely. A good reward can make all the difference in sticking with a new habit. And while we're talking about habits, let's touch on breaking bad ones. That's often tougher than forming good habits.
Yeah, definitely. Any tips on how to do that?
One strategy is to identify the triggers that lead to the bad habit. Once you know what sets it off, you can work on avoiding or changing those triggers.
That makes sense. But what if the trigger is something you can't avoid?
Then you need to replace the bad habit with a healthier one. For example, if you bite your nails when you're stressed, maybe try squeezing a stress ball instead.
Replacing it sounds like a good idea. Are there any other strategies?
Another approach is to make the bad habit harder to do. If you want to stop snacking late at night, move the snacks to a high shelf or somewhere less accessible.
Moving them out of sight could really help.
Exactly. Plus, being mindful and aware of when you're about to perform the bad habit can give you a moment to pause and choose differently.
Mindfulness seems tricky, though.
It does take practice, but it can be very effective once you get used to it. The more aware you are, the better control you have over your actions.